So file handling. So what is the file handling will do? File handling, basically you have a data in the file, how you can read the data to your program. That's one scenario. Other scenario, you have data in your program, how you can write to the files. Second scenario. These are the two cases only we need. So if you see file handling, so reading and writing, all these are available in java.io package, where you can find in java.io package you can find. So file handling classes, all you can find in the java.io package. For reading, you assume that the file can be any file, right? Text file, doc file, or properties file, or any kind of file, XML file, any kind of file. The file has a data, basically, right? So the file input stream, you're inputting the data, the file data to your program. That is called file input stream. The file input stream will read the byte-based data. Buffered input stream, when you can use a buffering is, it will store all the data here and continuously streaming will happen. But what about file input stream? One by one byte will go in the network. See, one by one byte will go slowly. That takes a lot of time, right? But buffered input stream, large chunk of data will read at a time. That's the difference between file input stream and buffered. Both will read the byte data. So the reader abstract class is there. Reader abstract class is there. File reader and buffer reader classes are there. These file reader class will read the character-based data. A buffer reader class will read the large chunk of characters at a time. Large chunk of characters means string. Entire line also it will read buffer reader. Always remember, buffering is a large chunk of data. So file reader will read the character, single character at a time. Buffer reader will read the large chunk of characters at a time. So, and for reading file class also there, to represent it is a file, you will use a file class. So this is a reading process classes. But our classes doesn't read, right? But methods you will use. Read method for reading the byte or character data. You can call the read method. Read line method will read the entire line. Entire line it will read. That's our read line method. So this is a Java program. Basically, from this file, you have to give file. So where is this file? You have to give a location. From this file, you're reading. There are so many files, right? From that file, you're reading. So how can you read that? That we'll see that. And another one, you have a data in this program. You want to write it. How you can write the data to the files? So for writing, you will use a file output stream. You are outputting the data to the file. That's why file output stream, buffered output stream, writer abstract class, file writer class, buffer writer class. So, and methods you need to use a write method, flush method, and new line method you will use. So please understand here very carefully, easy. From file, you are inputting to the program. That's why file input stream. Basically, data will stream in the network packets. So either byte format or character format will stream. You're inputting. That's why file input stream. You're outputting. That's why file output stream. If you want to write large chunk of data you want to read, buffered input stream you will use. Large chunk of data you want to write, you can use a buffered output stream. File writer, buffer writer you can use. So this is all the file handling classes java.io package. So let's see how to do that. First, what you need to do, you have to create object for file class. file f equal to new file and give the file location. So you want to then immediately you create object for file input stream class. File input stream fs equal to new file input stream f. So this file object you're passing here. Then buffered input stream. You create object for buffered input stream bs equal to new buffered input stream and pass this fs object. So directly you cannot use a buffered input stream. Must be object of this file input stream. You should create a file input stream object. Then only you can use a buffered input stream. But file input stream alone you can use. File input stream alone you can use. File reader and buffer reader also same. So you have to use a read method, read line method, next line, any of these methods. Read method, what it will read? Read the byte or character data. Read line will read the entire line. So file reader class makes it possible to read the contents of a file as a stream of characters. So you can create file reader fr equal to new file reader and pass the file path. Basically file object reference you will pass it. See, all these are parameterized constructors. Please observe that. Even file class also see parameterized constructor. So that's the one thing you need to catch here. So file reader fr equal to new file reader file path. Buffer reader text reader equal to new buffer reader. So passing the file reader object you are passing here. So you can specify the buffering size. How? Okay, so this will read 8192 characters at a time. But you can specify. I want only 1000 characters. I don't want 8000 characters at a time. So then you can specify your buffering size. See, constructor is changing now. This is the single parameterized constructor. This one is two parameterized constructor. That's how you can change the buffering size. Okay, and read line method. So that I'll explain you in the programs. So how to write the data and output the data to the program files, from program to files. So first you create object for a file class and create the file, and then create object for file output stream class. File output stream FOS equal to new file output stream and give the which file you want to write, that file location you give. So buffered output stream BOS equal to new buffered output stream and pass the FOS object. File writer and buffer writer. So I'll tell you, so you want to append or overwrite, that is possible with the file writer class. See write method. You can write either byte data or character data. So overloading methods, these are all. Flush method to flush out the stream. You will use that. So file writer class makes it possible to write a character. So file writer FW equal to new file writer file path. So in case we want to control whether to append or overwrite into a text file, so you have to write a boolean append equal to true. So this will overwrite. If you use file writer with the one parameterized constructor, this will overwrite every time new data will write. Old data will delete, new data only will show in the file. But if you want to append, you want to old data and new data also, then you can same thing you write with a two parameterized constructor use. Put append variable or directly put a true here. Otherwise you put a true directly here. File path and a true you can put directly. So that's how you can show boolean append method. By default it is false, thus it will overwrite the existing data. So if you put a true, it will append the data. So that's the difference between how to overwrite and append that data. So let's jump into so the programs so that you can understand. I will let me exit this recording. So create the file handling package, file handling programs package. So what is that? A package name you have to give. File handling programs. So first I'll create data. So some data I'll create. Suppose you assume that so this data I want to read. Some data will read. Okay. So all the data I want to read. So this data I will put it in one file. Okay. Let's put this entire thing in the file or one file. So I'll create a new file. I'm putting it here. I'm saving this. So I'll save it to one file. Okay, one folder in my D drive. I have a Java programs. Let's create a new folder. Okay, let's create a new folder. File handling. July 8th, 2022. Okay, so here I'll save this. Right, input doc.txt input. So input file. Right, this is the input file. So this file I need to give. So that file I need to give. So I'll create. First, I'll create a new class. Let's create a new class. So first new file input stream we'll see, right? File input stream. File input stream demo. So take the main method, but I'll create all global variables. But here not required global variables, but I'm creating global. Otherwise, it's up to you. If you want to create a global variables, it's up to you. Otherwise, you can see anything. Private static file f equal to null. So understand. So the other class, right? This is available in the java.io package. So import that. So you can import this. Otherwise, you can do star. So star means all the classes of this package. It will be automatically imported. You don't need to do one by one import. But if you do one with this dot star good, if you put, because all the classes will be loaded. Instead of that, better you do that. Private static file input stream FIS equal to null. So all exception handling is coming again here. Please watch that. So private static string input file path equal to, you have to give the input file. So where the file is there, let's go to our project. So where we store that Java programs. July 10th, they give 10th, no, June, that is June, right? This one. See here I created this file. So this path I am giving. And I have to give input.txt also. The file, complete file also I have to give. So now, see, I have to pass this variable value. First, I'll create object for file class. Create object for file class. F equal to new file. So I need to give this input file path. This file path you have to give. So new file, input file path. So then we have to give, you have to create object for FAS. So create object for file input stream to read the data from file. So if you want to read what is the class, you need to use file input stream. We have used even properties class also, right? Same concept we are applying here also. FAS equal, because I already declared data type, variable name I already declared. I don't want to write again data type. So FAS equal to the right side one I need to write new file input stream. So So see, this is throwing an exception. See, unhandled exception type file not found exception. I am surrounding with a try catch block. So that line I am surrounding with a try catch. So then I'll write few more lines of code. I'll write there. I need to iterate, right? I need to iterate. There's a lot of data is there in that file. I need to iterate. How can I iterate? Int I equal to 0. So while I equal to fas dot read method. You have to call read method until that is not read method will read what data? Read method will read byte data. So byte means integers. So until that is not -1, not equal to -1. See, not equal to -1. Until that is not equal to -1, you have to keep reading. So keep read, and this is the integer data. That means byte data. Byte data you print. Byte data we cannot print. We have to convert into character and print it. How can we convert into this one? Because integer into character. So you assign the integer to character, but it won't allow, right? What is the problem here? See, add cast to character, because integer you cannot convert to character. So you have to typecast it. So I'm typecasting it. Then what is this? Add unhandled exception, add throws declaration. I'm giving add throws declaration. See now, where is the throws declaration is adding? Method signature line followed by exception class. So then print the thing. And so you print the character. So putting print method and finally block. So catch block is here, and I'll use finally block. So finally block what it do. So you can close the connections, right? So fas dot close. So finally block is used to close the connection. See catch block. So this is a try block. Try block is ending here. So catch block started. File not found exception. So e dot print stack trace. Why file not found exception? For example, this file you are giving a wrong file and this file is not there. Then it has to throw a proper message, right? That's why file not found exception. So now we execute this. See, all the code of that file code is executed here. See, this is all the code we kept in that file. So it is reading, right? It is reading for your here, and you are printing that. This data, if you want, you can use in wherever you want. That's the how you can read data from file. Clear? So let's see how to use a buffered input stream. So how to use buffered input stream. So let's go and see that. I'll just copy this buffered input stream class. See, buffered input stream is what? So I'll just put this file path. Here. Just creating object for that thing. That's it. See, private static file. So if you declared a null, file input stream you declared a fas null. Extra class we are adding buffered input stream bs. Sir, what is the difference between this file input stream and buffered input stream? By adding the speed of reading will be improved. So this will read a 1 by 1 byte, right? But this will read large chunk of data at one go. That's the difference between file input stream and buffered input stream. So you create object for file, new file equal to this input file path, and try catch blocks. Come on. So try catch blocks you have to use. FS equal to new file input stream, passing this file object here, and BAS equal to this BAS object reference. I'm passing new buffered input stream. So now after these lines, the FAS won't be a null. BAS also won't be null because this object you are passing. So now see buffered input stream, which object you are passing? FAS object you are passing. So now int I equal to 0. So while I equal to BAS dot read not equal to -1. -1 means last line. So until the read method will keep reading until the last line. Last line means -1. Nothing is there, you will get a -1. If the value of I is not equal to -1, until that you keep reading, you're saying. So that will keep reading and stores in this. So you're converting the integer into character, that character you are printing. So then finally you're closing that in the finally block. This all your objects you are closing, so that it will be easy for you. Otherwise unnecessary memory waste. So let's run this. See, same data is very, very fast. Sir, how do I know? But a large data is there, you will come. Otherwise, both will do the same task. This also only with this one, you are reading. If the I value is not equal to -1, and you keep reading. If it is a -1, and it will skip. It will exit, right? While loop will exit. So this is all while loop, basically. All while loop it is happening. Okay. And next one is and we can see buffer reader demo. So that means file reader and buffer reader both will come here. Okay. So I'm using this same file I'm using, buffer reader class. So this I'm okay. So basically you are creating a so variable file f equal to null, private static file reader fr equal to null, private static buffer reader br equal to null, private static string input file path equal to this is the input file, our input file path I'm giving, because basically from this file I'm reading. So that's why first you create object for a file class. So f equal to new file. So give this file path. File path you are giving. That is file path data type is a string. And then try. So fr value you are giving new file reader. So pass the f value. So br equal to new file buffer reader fr. So why I'm using a string buffer reader means it will read the large chunk of data at a time. String str equal to null, while str equal to br dot read line not equal to null. I'm not using -1. Why it is not -1? It's not integer, right? So string means always null will be there. If the value is str value while reading from this br file, the line is null. Null means no data. So if no data is there, until the no data, you keep reading and print that. Then cfr.close, br.close. Basically, finally block is used to close the database connections and file streams. You're closing the file streams. See, file reader, buffer reader, you're closing here in the finally block. So again, try catch finally blocks you're using, and throws is followed by IO exception. Throws is in the method signature, any method signature. So that's just read that. See, same data read, right? So this is the reading process, how to do. Even I have shown the properties file how to read, right? Same concept to read it. Now, so let's see how to write. So the writing process is two types, right? So you have a data in one file. How you can write same data to another file? That's a one process. And you will use a buffering concept for them. Same thing you can use. So, but I have to show you file output stream demo. So let's see file output stream demo. I'll show you. Again, same file output stream demo. What we are going to do? Private static file f equal to private static file input stream. From this file I'm reading and I'm writing to this file. So input file path is this one. So let me give input file path. So this is the input file path. So this is the input file path. Input file path. So I want to write to output file. So some output file I want to write, right? July 8th. So 2022 and output.txt. But this file is not there. If you go there, that file is not there. So can you see this file, output file? No, I need to create. If this file is not there, I want to create output file path. So how to create that output file path? See, f equal to new file, output file path. If file doesn't exist, see negation I'm doing. F.exist method is there in the file class. That's why I'm using that reference variable dot exist method. If the file doesn't exist, f dot create new file. F dot create new file. F dot create new file. You have to give that. So, and you created the file. So this output file is created. But you have to write, right? You have to write the data. So try FS equal to new file input stream, new file. Sir, I didn't specify input file path. I'm specifying here. See, I'm passing the file object directly to this constructor. New file input path. You can pass like that also. Directly one object inside another object you can pass. Basically, object reference you have to pass. This is the object. FOS equal to why FOS you will use? For writing this file data, you have to write to this file. So new file output stream f. This is the output file path. Output file dot get absolute file. Get the absolute file. Then int I equal to 0 while I equal to FAS dot read not equal to -1. You put in the character. So otherwise, so FOS dot write the same byte data to this FOS file. I'm writing. So I'm writing to FOS file. This is what method we are calling? Write method. For reading, what method we are calling? Read method. So that's as simple. So what data you want to write? That you are giving the write method parenthesis inside. This data I want to write. Read and same data you write it to FOS file, output file. You read from the input file and same that read data, write it to output file. So that's how you can. So see, now execute this. See, you go same data will write here. So output file is created. See today. So just now output file is created. You open this. Same data is there. See. So this is how easy to write the data to the files with the program. How quickly it has written. See, big data, but still it has written. So that's advantage, right? And buffered output stream. So let me use a buffered output stream also. Same concept. Buffered output stream also same concept. So basically, you are inputting. So input file, I'll give input file path. So I'm changing basically current project directory I'm giving. So then July 8th, right? 8th. So output dot doc file. I'm writing for the doc file. In this directory, I'm creating a new file. I'm writing to this file. So let's see how to write to the doc file. This is not txt. Now doc file I'm writing. See, first again same file input stream FAS, buffered input stream BAS, file output stream FOS, buffered output stream BOS. So we have one input file, one output file. This our input file I'm writing to the output file through buffering concept. So previous class I have shown you without buffering. Now I am showing so with the buffering how you can read and how you can write with the buffering. So that's what I'm showing. File f equal to new file output file path. This file I'm specifying with a file object. Now if that file doesn't exist, create a new file method you call. It will create that file. If file is not there only it will create it. If file is there it won't create. Create object for the file input stream class. Try catch blocks. fs equal to new file input stream. So new file and you are specifying the input file path. So BAS equal to new buffered input stream, you pass the FAS. So FOS equal to new file output stream, F dot get absolute path or a get absolute file. Anything it will give you the complete path of that. So you are specifying that. So BOS equal to new buffered output stream. This FOS object you pass it here. Int I equal to 0 because input stream, output stream will write, input stream will read the byte data, output stream will write the byte data. That's a byte data only we are writing. So that's why we want that. Okay. So reading and writing that data, we are taking that. And then, so while I equal to base dot read not equal to -1, then that data you write it to the BOS object. So BOS dot write I and BOS dot flush you have to use because BOS buffering will read a large chunk of data, right? That stream you have to flush out to get the new stream. Old stream you flush out and get the new stream. That's why you have to call flush method after write method. So flush method is mandatory when you're using a buffered output stream. Don't forget. Okay. So then catch block, file not found. If that file is not there, it will throw file not found. And FOS start close, FOS start close. So now see doc file will create there. If you don't put a write method after flush method for with the buffering output stream, and it will it won't create the data. It won't rewrite the data. So you go see output doc file. Open the doc file. See same data written, right? So this is the how you can write the data to any files with a buffering concept or file output stream concept. And last one, so last but not least, file writer demo. So file writer demo, let's finish this and we'll close it. File writer demo, what it will do? It will, you can append the data or you can overwrite the data. Anything you can do. So let's see how we can do that. So let me take this file path, July 8th, right? July 8th. So I want to input from keyboard. So this into this text file. This text file, I want to input the data. So basically I want to write. So I'll input from the keyboard that input data, you write it to this file. How can you write? So again, you need a file class, file writer class, buffer writer class you need, and file path. So f equal to new file, f path, because if this file is not there, how to create a file? What is the logic? This is the logic you have to write. If negation f dot exist method you call, and f dot create new file. These are all methods of this file class. How we are calling this file class methods? So with a file object reference. Okay. So now see that I'm going to override. Okay, I'm not going to append. I'm going to override first. So override means only one file object to only your pass. For overriding the data in the file, you have to take a new file writer with a parameterized constructor, that to single parameterized constructor. New file writer. Then BW equal to new buffer writer, FW. So then you want to input the data from keyboard means you have to use a scanner class, right? Scanner SCOB is equal to new scanner system.in. So I want to read. So it's a string data I want to write. So I want to give from the keyboard. That's why a string str equal to this scanner object dot next line method is there. So next line method is there. You take a next line method. Then BW dot new line, BW dot write method, and this data you write. This data you write. Then BW dot flush method you use. So this is the how you can override the data. Okay, so this file is not there. I'm creating on the fly. I'm creating. This is the code to create the file. Always don't directly call the create new file. You have to put if condition. Mandatory. You need to check first, right? So the file is there or not on that location. You give that. So otherwise it won't accept, right? Make sure the file is. So this is the path. Same path, right? I'm just checking the path is same or not. Yeah, so path is same. Okay, so this file will create, and whatever the data you are entering, that data I need to write to this file. Let's explain this. So enter the data. So Java is a simple programming language. Press enter. So now we go and open the file. See, this is the file. This is the file just created. 831. See, Java is a simple programming language written. Now, one more time you run this. Run the same program. So what will happen? You see this. So Java 8 has many new features like functional interface, lambda expressions, default methods in interface, all this. Press enter key. Now you go, close this and open again. See, open this. See, the old data is not there. Old data, what we have written? Java is a simple programming language. That is not there. Why it is not there? It's overwriting. So that is the why it is overwriting. Because this is the overwriting. The data is overwriting here. Because you are using a single parameterized constructor per file writers. If we want to append, what I need to do? So just use this two parameterized constructor and you file object and a true you pass for the same file writer object. For the same file writer object, you put a true extra. So automatically it will append the data. See, now I'm going to run the program. So now it will append. Say I'm going to write here. See, still running. The red mark means it's still running. Selenium is a functional test tool. to test the web applications. See, now you go and open the file. Old data will be there and new data will be. See, old data is there and new data is there. This is appending. So that's how you can append the data to the file using what concept you need to extra add. You need to create an object for file writer with the 2 parameters. If you want to override, only single parameter is enough. Got the difference? How to overwrite and how to append the data? Is it clear? Last program. So how can you list out all the files in the given directory? So suppose I am giving this directory, right? So I'm giving this directory. See here, so many files are there, right? I want to list out all the files. How can you list out subfolders? So files I want to list out. How can you list out? So that is the last program. So very important. In the WebDriver also you will use this. In the interview question, this one. See this. So static string directory, you are giving a D : Java programs directory. I'm writing a simple method. So this method, what it will do is, so this method will list all the subfolders and files in given directory path. So what this method will do, all the subfolders and files will list out. So this method will list out all the subfolders and files in given directory path. So private static void list all files and folders and give the input as a directory. So file f equal to new file and the directory you pass. And so this will list the list files method. F dot list files method will return the file array, the return type. So F array. So you iterate with a for each loop. For so what is the data type of this file array? F file class file and variable name fa : fa array. So fa dot get name. So now it will list out all the files. So let's see this. So this is the one program they asked in the interview. Okay. See. There are txt files, Java files, PNG files, and these are the folders. And these are the JPG files, XLSX files, docx files. All files are there, right? But I want only txt files or only JPG files. So, and this is the one. See, if fa dot get name method, the file name ends with the .txt, only print that file name. See, filtering. In the loop inside, you're putting a filter if condition. So it will filter that. See, only txt file it will print now. See, only txt files. Before it printed a lot of, right? Now, if you want to print only Java, for example, only Java, .java files, it will print only .java, ends with the method. It is there in the string class. So the file is ending with the .java, that is printing. Ends with means that is the one. If the file name ending with .java, or for example JPG, it's ending with the JPG, and you print this. See, only JPG files it is printing. See, what kind of files you can filter with the if condition. So this is another important program. Okay, so that's all about file handling. Other than that, nothing. So just to go through this. Okay,